Korean War was already going on, and I was sitting in a tavern with a bunch of other vets and everything else were drinking, and at that time the TVs finally came on, and all of a sudden they interrupted their broadcast. China invaded, helping North Korea and go after the South Korean and American troops. And we all screamed at them, and so he says, let's go downtown and re-enlist and everything else, and you go to Korea. So we ended up the next morning there, and the first thing the recruiters did was pick us out. When we told them we were vets from the World War II, they grabbed us, and they sent us to camps. Then finally one soldier came up and told me, he says, you're going to Korea. He says, you're going to leave and go to Korea in about a week. I said, that's what I joined the Army for. When we were down to breakfast below our hill, there was about 50 men from my outfit, then plus the other companies that are around there on the line. We went down for fresh breakfast. And then, so we're eating. I got my pants. Then all of a sudden there was a shell that landed on the next hill beyond us. Then a minute later, there was another shell. It hit right below that. Then I heard another shell, and I could hear the noise, the weapons going off. And another hit down in the valley. When that one hit, then I hollered to everybody, get out of here, get up there, get in your dugouts. And I told the messmen and everything else, get the vehicles out of here and go back. Right there. So we kept on going up the hill to our positions. Then more shells are coming. Then they kept on going, and I heard the shells. The one that fired, and I hollered, hit it, hit it. And some guys hollered, what do you mean hit it? I said, hit it. All of a sudden, boom, the shell was behind us. It hit us behind us. Then he looked at me, didn't say nothing else. So then one more shell came in, I heard him. I said, hit it. We hit it and everything else. We went up the hill. Well, we ended up back in our barracks and dugouts and everything else. Then I was in one dugout with two medics and sitting there. They were waiting for confirmation it's over with. But then I heard a blast again, and I heard the shell, but then I didn't hear it no more. I dropped down to the ground, and the shell hit our bunker right in the middle, and all I did was see a big orange ball. And I looked out, and I looked from my helmet. I felt like a turtle because it seemed like my helmet covered my whole body. Like that, and I heard the two medics screaming. They got hit. So I ran out and hollered for help and everything else. And then one of the fellows of our outfit, he came out, his name was Leventhal, and he came out and he came in there and started giving them first aid. Then a little while later, then the other medics came and the rescue squads, and they started checking everything else and everybody. So one medic asked me, he says, where were you at if you were in here? You didn't get hurt. I told him I was right here, right next to the door. He said, you sure? I said, yeah. Since I was squatted down, I told him how my helmet, what it looked like after, it looked like a turtle. He said, you're lucky. He says, he turned around. He says, see this hole? That would have been your head. I got a letter before we went up the front lines. Explained to me who she is and why she's writing. And she got my address from her brother and his wife, where they worked together at the same shop. See? Then I got another letter the next day. So I keep getting letters from her all the time. So I finally wrote back, and it was about the middle of December. And I wrote back to her and everything else, who I was, and all that. And we kept on writing back and forth. So by beginning of February, I was getting letters from her. She says, I'm beginning to love you. And everything she wrote me all the time was, I love you all the time. And she can't wait until I come home to meet me. So I kept on writing back to her and everything else. And then, then I finally, about in April, I told her back, I said, I love you too. So we kept on meeting and everything else. She's reading the letters. So when I came home, I had my bags where my mother lived at. My oldest brother lived downstairs. She lived upstairs where I used to live too. And as I walked up there, nobody answered the door. I walked in. So there's my wife and my mother living, standing next to the table in the dining room. My two sisters standing next to her. And my other brothers there sitting on the couch. I could see in the front room. And nobody got up to meet me. But then they all turned their heads at the corner of the room. And away she came out. And when she came out, I dropped my bags. I hugged my arms. I hugged her, and she hugged me. We kissed and cried. Then 2 weeks later, we married.